Welcome to the Casual Experience.
Hello, casuals. You're welcome to the Casual Experience Show, a podcast for fight enthusiasts and fight lovers, where we talk about fights and talk about it in a casual manner. On this episode, we'll be talking about the review of the UFC 322 that just went down, featuring Islam Makhachev and JDM, Jack Maddalena, where Islam came out with a dominant victory. And on this episode, I'm here with my usual friend, Raymond.
Yeah, it's good to be back in the studio. It was a wonderful time. It's UFC 322. In fact, I had an amazing time.
I can see the smile on your face now.
The smile on my face. Islam definitely won, right? That was my prediction.
Your guy won, yeah.
So I was excited about the card. Whether he won or not, I was excited about the card. It was a very scintillating card, explosive. We had about 14 fights, 7 decisions, and 7 finishes, and it was fun. To me, if I'm going to rate that card, I'll give the card a 9 over 10. What do you think about the card?
Wow, I feel the same way too. I feel the card performed extremely well, especially the main card. Like, we just came with bangers of knockouts. It was only like the co-main and the main events that just dragged to, yes.
Yeah, I think that card even delivered about 4 performances of the night. We had Carlos Prates, we also had
Brady, Michael Morales, yeah.
We had Bonical and
BSD too.
BSD, yes, these are the people that got the performance of the night bonuses.
Yeah, Bonical didn't get the performance.
Bonical got, Carlos Prates got, BSD got, and
Morales got. So they gave 4.
They gave 4, yes.
Wow.
Most of these knockouts came in.
And those are the kind of things that make Dana White happy, just knockout and chaos.
Yes.
And in fact, in our prediction, our preview show, we only got one wrong. I mean, that was the Brady Morales.
Yeah. Really got
and when the fight started, I already knew that I got this wrong. Just from the start of it, the way Morales was deceiving him with his reach, with his range, it was making Brady feel as if he was closer than he was, while he wasn't close. That guy squatted kind of, he's tall,
very tall, yes.
And he just squatted and made him feel he was closer to him. And but let's talk about the main man, the man of the moment. That guy, I don't think he had any iota of doubt at all. I mean, Islam. I don't think he had any iota of doubt. Like, there was no flimsy equal of doubt in his mind that he was going to come out strong.
He went through that fight with every conviction that he was going to win. There were so many speculations surrounding Islam. This guy has learned how to do takedown defense.
Yeah.
JDM is good on the field. JDM is a very good striker. But at the end of the whole day, that match was 100% dominance by Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that JDM couldn't pose more threat. I think Islam came all out stinging, and then
that leg kicks were something. Like, it was just simple.
Just simple leg kicks. I think that was the game plan. And then don't allow him come near you. When you see he's weak and he wants to take a punch, shoot, and then bring him down. And every time he brought him down, I think he couldn't even stand up. Yeah,
and he just shut down JDM's attack. Like, he didn't make him do a single significant thing. Like, in the third round, he felt as if JDM was getting into his flow. But man, how wrong were we? Every single time he felt that he was doing something, he took him down. There was, even in the post-fight conference, there was not single damage. I didn't say a single scratch on Islam's face.
Islam says as healthy as possible, that even if they fix in the next fight, he will do well. But you can imagine, 25 minutes fight, 19 minutes, 10 seconds in control position.
Yeah.
He held him on the floor. It means just 4 minutes they were standing.
Yeah.
You can imagine someone who is good at standing, 4 minutes they were both standing, but Islam took him to his territory, took him to deep waters and destroyed him.
Yeah, but what seems to ick me about fight fans and similar fights, like, if you put 2 fights in perspective, that seems to, like, what are you guys talking about? Remember Makhachev, Khamzat and DDP fight?
Yes.
It seems as if what DDP just did to Khamzat did all through to was control and just pepper DDP. Yes. But they were booing. Most fans were booing Khamzat. Like, we all said it was a boring fight. I don't know whether it was a sentiment of we being Africans and we wanted DDP to try much. JDM was trying.
JDM was trying, actually. He was trying.
Well, if there was any plus to his performance, at least he didn't get submitted. Because Islam was going for submissions after submissions. I think he wanted to finish that fight.
I was even thinking in round 4, he was going to finish the fight. When I saw the way round 2, round 1, round 2, round 3 went, my prediction was round 4, Islam will finish that fight, but to God be the glory, he still came out on top, and that's the most important thing of every fight.
Yes, and now, without no iota of doubt, Dana White cannot tell me that lightweight is still the most bubbly division.
It has switched from the names we saw in this UFC 322. I was thinking UFC 321 was the fight of this year.
Yeah.
But UFC 322 has proved everything wrong. That UFC 322 is like the best fight of this year.
Yeah.
Look at the likes of Sean Brady, Morales. They are actually welterweight.
Yeah.
Look at the likes of Islam and JDM welterweight as well. Look at the like of Prates and Carlos. They are welterweight fights.
Yes.
They were tough fights.
And I feel we will see a better Islam in a welterweight. The welterweight seems to suit him. Even his physical features, he didn't gas out. Our problem was, our thoughts were like, this guy might adding additional weight,
yes,
my gas out. He was perfectly fine. I don't know, maybe JDM didn't test him enough. But if you look at the other performances of Morales, of Prates, it seems now that he's now the changing of old guards.
Yes, to the new guards.
Yes.
The new guards. The
Leon,
generation of fighters that were dominant before are no longer in that range again.
A simple question now, bro. Is Leon Edwards washed?
Okay. I, for one person, Leon Edwards is a very good fighter. A very, very good fighter. But all of a sudden, I don't know what happened to Leon Edwards. This is coming from a 2-loss streak. Now it's now 3-loss streak, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at, it's not the same Leon Edwards that was dominant for many years, that he defeated Mohammed, what's his name, Usman, our very own Usman, 2 times, right? And then he couldn't defend. Okay, he defended against Kobe Covington, and then he couldn't beat Belal Mohammed, and then JDM beat him. And from now, look at that loss. He has not gotten himself back. I think he got a loss against Sean Brady. He got against JDM. Now he's getting a loss against Prates.
A devastating loss. I mean, did you see the shock on his face?
Yes.
When Prates hit him, he was kind of stunned. He was like, what was happening?
That punch was like headshot that he did for what's his name?
Usman. Yeah.
I was like, wait, this is the same guy that was laughing at Usman when he gave Usman that kick.
Yeah.
Now look at him in this position.
Yeah, and
he doesn't have a good chin.
Yeah, and MMA can be so ironic in the way it happens. Yeah. Prates finished, he knocked him out, and what did he do? He faced Pereira and just threw the bow and arrow. Pereira to cut it and like a nice one. And now, if you look at the top 5 now in welterweight, before this card. Yes. The welterweight top 5 was entirely different.
Was washed, yes. Didn't have that pedigree, didn't have that big names.
Now, after this card, all of a sudden, we have 3 new names in the top 5. We have a new champion, and we now have 2 new names in the top 5. Yes. We have Prates in the top 5. We have Morales in the top 5. And then you now look, what's next for X?
Mohammed, right?
Yeah,
JDM,
I'm not even talking about the names there. I'm talking about the new guys in the mix. Yeah. Because left to me, if we are looking at just those 2 guys, Morales and Prates alone just standing, I feel Islam, they beat every other single person apart from Islam and probably JDM.
Yes.
There.
Yeah.
I see Prates knocking out Belal. I see Morales with his performance against Sean Brady that dominated Leon Edwards.
Yes. And Morales so far so good. I'm very, very impressed about Morales.
Just 25 years old.
His last fight was 18-0-0. Now he's now on 19-0-0. He has not had any UFC loss or any.
And a pure mommy's boy.
Look at him. Very much young.
Yes.
He has the height and.
He was just talking about like he just needs to go home and go and eat his mommy's pasta right now, and it's just his mommy. He was just listening to mommy. It makes you feel as if it was his mommy that was training him, or just that all through his fight camp it was just his mom, and that's what he does in every of his fights.
Exactly.
And now, what do we say? Who do we say is the next test for Islam?
Well, the next test for Islam, with what Islam has displayed in these fights, I don't know who would definitely be.
Who can defend his wrestling?
The person that I'm sure might give Islam a little bit of a more threat might be Shafkat, because they have the same.
Shafkat said it.
Yeah, they have the same kind of.
Yeah.
Let me say fighting style. They can submit, they can grapple. I would have said Usman, but Usman is
past his prime.
Yes, it's past.
But Usman likes shocking everyone.
Everyone as well.
He loves shocking everyone.
I don't know who can give Islam a big threat. So far, so good. I don't know. I don't think Prates giving me that threat. I don't think Morales, even if those guys called him out, I don't think they can.
Who called him out?
Morales called Islam out during his press conference.
Yeah. Prates. When Islam was going out, when he was going out to the octagon, he met. I mean, Prates was just by the side, and he was like, "Come on, come on, brother. Yes. He gave him chop knuckle. Khabib too gave him chop knuckle. When their mind, they were like, man, you are at the corridor. You're at the corridor of power, and waiting for the next thing. But who can stop his wrestling? Who has that wrestling pedigree? Who has that grappling pedigree? I mean, strike.
He even proved that he could strike.
Man.
Islam is doing amazingly well. I think 28 fights now, and his last loss was 10 years ago. The same thing with JDM too. They said his last loss was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And 28 fights, 1 loss, no draws, and he's still waxing strong.
And he's met Anderson Silva now.
Silva's record, and if he has the next fight and he defeats that, he has
surpassed it.
Arguably one of the greatest in UFC history. And then if that will be this 29th fight, and if he does the 30 fights, he will outdo his mentor, which is Khabib. I think Khabib was 29-0-0, right?
Yeah.
So, but as things stands now, he has done so much for the sport. He has done so well for the division, and I think if UFC is going to match up anybody with Islam, I'm thinking it might be Topuria, but I don't know how.
Topuria. Are you clickbaiting right now?
He went to the UFC White House and he said, "Bring on anybody," because Topuria posted a tweet after that fight and said, "Islam's fight is one of the most boring fights," and then
obviously Ilya would always find something to say.
Being interviewed and the line and everything, he now said, "Just bring anybody White House."
But
because
Ilya knows that his pound for pound now is going to be taken, definitely.
Of course, the North even said that if Islam wins that fight, he's pound for pound number 1.
He just won a champion. Yes. Ilya became a double champ, right?
Yes.
Not simultaneously, but like he became a double champ by beating Charles Oliveira for a vacant title. Yes. Islam actually fought the champion, the champion in his prime, and now we see Islam is 34 years old, right?
Yes.
And he begs the question: do you see him? Because of his age, and obviously his camp knows that he has limited time in the sport. Yes. Give or take, Islam has 2-3 years left in the sport. Do you see him as an active champion?
Before I answer that question, I want to talk about the pound for pound. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, talking about the pound for pound, I feel UFC just cooked up something to put Topuria there. If you're going to be a pound for pound number 1, you must beat a pound for pound number 1. If JDM beats
that makes sense.
JDM is going to be a pound for pound number 1. But because of the speculation surrounding what's his name? Topuria is bringing the numbers.
And his aura.
Yes, it's aura.
His star power.
Yeah, thank you, star power. So I think UFC, let me use the word, politically placed him as pound for pound number 1, looking at the fact that Islam too will be displaced number 2. But guess what? Islam, if JDM has beat Islam, JDM will be pound for pound number 1, right?
Yeah.
But I don't even see Topuria in that range of pound, because Topuria only beats a washed out Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
Claim a record. And it should even be maybe pound for pound number 3 or number 4. But that's where we meet things right now. So talking about your question, I'm trying to hear your question. You talked about
active. Will he be active given his age?
If Islam is going to, I think Islam has 3-4 fights before he retires.
And he said he was going to defend the belt 6 times.
Well, so
you don't see him fighting 6 times next year now, because the Ramadan period is going to be off 3 months at least.
And with caliber of person Islam is, the caliber of fighter he is, I think he can fight 2 times.
He fights twice a year.
Yeah, if worse comes to worse, once a year, but 2 times a year. So he fight 2 times next year, and he fights 2 times upper year. I think we'll call it a bow. He has done so much for himself, and he has done so much for the sport as well.
But I'm sure Islam will be licking his chop, looking at the contenders that none of you have nothing on me right now.
Those guys can give Islam a try.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them.
His camp will be looking like, guy, we think you should just fight at least 3 times a year if you can. All you need to do is just take all these guys down, and take these guys down and just maul them. And talking about what you were saying about with Ilya's position as pound for pound, I think UFC, they are just a business-minded organization, and it's just a business move. And rarely do we see super mega fights. Like the UFC put on fights, good fights.
Yes.
They put on super fights.
Yes.
but rarely do you see a super mega fight.
From different divisions, right?
Yes, or like where there are two stars in opposite polarizing position, facing, when giving the like of Conor and Khabib, like we saw with Conor and Khabib, like we saw with GSP and Michael Bisping. It's not out of our imagination, as you said. Seeing Islam and Ilya fighting. It's not out of do you think it's out of our imagination?
It's not out of imagination. It's something that can happen.
Yeah.
Because UFC also wants the money. The money is the most important thing. It's a business organization, and before it became a fight company, it's actually a business.
Yeah. And man, at this point, I want to take you to an incident that happened outside the octagon. I'm sure many fight fans didn't notice this, except the ones that maybe after the fight they go to social media and just see what happens. There will just always be traces of, obviously Khabib was in Islam's corner, and there will just always be traces of the 2019 fight between Khabib and McGregor. Do you see what happened with Dylan Dalis?
That same guy that gave that annoyed Khabib that he jumped out of the cage.
Yes,
was the same guy that caused the fight. In fact, it caused a very big
rancor.
The Russian guys were very, very aggressive.
They beat the nonsense out of him.
Exactly.
He was holding him. In fact, he misplaced his big shoe. He was carrying his big shoe, and Dana White said, Dana, he's such a smart man. He was saying he didn't know. He didn't know that they were in the front row, and
he did was just
yeah, exactly. How would you say?
Eight seats away.
How would you say he didn't know?
Kind of thing.
5 rows of Muslim brothers,
Russian guys.
And then you now gonna put
controversy around his head.
They beat the hell out of that guy.
And then White says this will be the last time ever
that he will be in the UFC. That he's going to come to any UFC fight.
He even posted something in a tweet. He said, the real 170 pound for pound. I don't know him as a MMA guy, but I know he trains, right? So he said he's a real pound for pound. So he means that
he's not fought in 5 years or so. I mean, in MMA, he's not fought in MMA 5 years or so. Just been fighting exhibition fights, and what keeps him going is his presence online. Well, he has a big presence online because he has a big mouth. Yeah, just like Jake Paul. But Jake Paul backs up. He backs up everything he says, regardless of however people see him or regard him, because of his beginnings as a Nickelodeon star. Yeah. Jake Paul is a bona fide boxer. Forget every other thing. We can call him anything. Forget the facade of how he acts and all. He's going to be fighting Anthony Joshua. Have you heard that?
I heard that, yes. I heard that.
And for the Islam camp, they just have everything poised right now in their position. And the star right now is just their limit. And that takes us to our co-main event. I think we got that wrong too. I said Weili was going to win.
I speculated that Weng was going to win, but Weng didn't perform like she would have performed. I think Shevchenko did amazingly well.
Bro, wasn't the weight difference obvious and the strength?
Yes, Weng was just too small. I think she built herself into that weight class very well.
Do you think she can? She put on weight. She's not just a natural straw weight. You believe?
Yes.
Valentina used her strength and weight.
I think that fight was a 4-1. Some people said it was a 5.
Did Weili win any round?
There was a round that was looking like she won, but it was still a 45, 50-45.
Before we forget, the Islam fight was 50-45, man.
No, sorry, it wasn't 50-45. I think there was so many 10-8, 10-8 and 10-9, 10-9.
But it was unanimous. Like it was like a 50-45 too. I think.
That fight was 50-45. Yeah.
Valentina too was 50-45, wasn't it?
Yes, 50-45.
It was just a dominant victory. And it just feels like anybody. Well, it feels that we are now seeing the new version of Valentina. She's now realized that age is not on my side anymore.
Yes, and age, right?
Yes. And then she knows that she's not as fast as she used to be, even in her Muay Thai stance. Yeah. She's not as fast. Weili was reasonably faster than her.
Chinese style now.
Yes, but she couldn't just get to her. But it just feels now, right? The new version of Valentina is just, I'm going to grapple the hell out of you guys. I'm going to wrestle the hell out of you guys. Whoever is coming to come and meet me, I'm going to grapple and wrestle the hell out of you. And they were showing in our next contender, Natalia Silva. I was looking through her. She looks to be a dangerous threat, but man, Valentina is the only one that is going to defeat Valentina, I feel, in that division. If she keeps doing what she's doing. Yes.
Yeah. She doesn't have the age on her side as well, and that performance yesterday was very, very impressive. In fact, I saw a different Valentina, a Valentina that proved to the world that she still has that class, she still has that fighter IQ, she still has that energy, and she still has that aura as a fighter.
Yeah.
And that was, for me, that fight was over 5. I would give a fight 4.5.
So now is Weili going? Do you think Weili is going to go down to flyweight, or she obviously she was a former champion. She won't want to fight a contender in there.
Well, the fight analyst says Weili should go back and be a 3-time strawweight champion. But
because I don't even see Mackenzie Dern being a threat to her if she decides to go back to go and fight for her belt.
For me personally, I feel life is all about challenges. The reason why life is interesting is we face challenges, we conquer the challenges, we go to higher challenges, we conquer. That's the same thing Islam actually did, right?
Yeah.
So I feel if Weili Zhang can do well to maybe have a good camp, take time to build bulk up, and then fight 1 or 2 people in number 3 rank, 2 ranks, maybe 1 rank, 3 and 2. Because right now she's not ranked, right?
Who is that? Weili.
Yes,
no, in strawweight.
In strawweight.
No, she's not.
She's not ranked.
But she's still ranked number 1 in flyweight.
Flyweight, okay. So what I would suggest she does is, okay, she's coming from strawweight to flyweight. You get it, right?
Yeah.
Strawweight is a lower class.
Yes.
So she's coming from strawweight to flyweight. So she should be ranked in strawweight, but in flyweight she would not be ranked.
No.
Rank. So I feel she can fight number 3 contender, number 2 contender
in flyweight.
Flyweight, take her time to bulk up and then increase your weight, and then
she doesn't have the time to do that. She's 36 years old, a former champion. The only reason she came up is to go and become a 2-time champion.
Well, you have a point though, but life is all about challenges.
Which do you think is going to be a more challenge for her to go down to try and get a belt once more again, or fight contenders, knowing that she's still going to fight the same person that just out-muscled her?
Well, the easiest thing to do right now is to go down. The easiest thing to do right now is to go back to your division, where you were champion and become a 3-time champion.
Yeah.
But the most difficult thing to do is still be in that division and then conquer that division. But like I said, life's all about challenges. We as human beings, we always look for something higher than us so that we can conquer.
Yeah. And on the main card, because I know we are going to be shouting out most welterweights, and in most of the podcasts going out throughout the week, I'm sure we are going to be shouting out most of the lightweights like Morales and Prates that just had a dominant victory. But on the flip side, let's play the devil's advocate here. Let's look at the guys that went on this loss, and let's try and see what's left for them. For me, I think Leon Edwards should just outrightly retire. Otherwise, the UFC is just going to make him a gatekeeper. That's for Leon Edwards.
Like 25%, right?
Yes, I don't know if you agree with me. In the first round, he felt that like he was trying. All he was trying to do was grapple him and just show that like on that side of him and that side of his fighting game.
That round he won.
Yeah, the first round he won it. But practice is simple that. He was even looking at him when he was peppering him.
The point, he was the back of Prates and he was punching
just 6 hours, the 6 or 7 body.
Like,
yeah.
He wasn't punching him at all.
On his post-fight, he said Borralho had his back all through the camp. They knew that was what Edwards was going to do, because he knew that Edwards was never going to try and stand with him. That was just going to try and get his back. And Caio Borralho was all on his back all through his fight camp.
Yeah. Well, Edwards is looking like the shadow of himself right now, but like I said initially, Edwards is a very good fighter. I don't know all of a sudden how he became shadow of himself, how he doesn't have that vibe again in him. Maybe he doesn't have that beast again in him, but this is the same Edwards that gave a whole lot of persons problems, and right now he's on a 3-fight losing streak.
But I think one more fight that could be suitable for him is him and Ayagari, don't you think? There seems to be a kind of beef there. You know,
them, right?
Yeah,
yes.
But Gary used to train in his gym, and then, you know, Edwards is the captain of their gym, and Edwards chased him out. Like, that's what Ayagari, that's his own storyline, that Edwards chased him out. And Edwards on his own part, Leon Edwards was like, the guy was so disruptive in the gym. You know, Ayagari with his character, rightly. Yeah. So, and Ayagari predicted day before yesterday, outrightly, with no OR anything about it, that Prates is going to just spark, not knock him out. And when he knocked him out, he said it's like, told you. So I think if there is one more fight that is in, because
that will sell as well.
And that will sell.
Because he looks at those kind of,
because he's already going out of the top 10.
He's going out of the top 10.
And then for Brady also, from 2 now.
Probably he has jumped maybe 5, 6, I don't know.
No, maybe it's 1 or 2. He's still going to be in the top 5. Yeah, but someone Morales from 8th I just taken to. Do you see a rematch between Brady and Belal?
Brady and Belal. I don't see a rematch between them. There are other top guys there. There is Buckley.
That's true. Buckley is there
as well. There is Usman as well. This
is
a fight of 2 grapplers. There is Shevchenko.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him fighting those guys that beat him. Let him just fight other guys and see how he can build back his profile.
Why I say that is obviously the UFC will look like you're number 2 now. You've gone a step down. Yes. And Belal was the champion. He lost his belt too. Both of you are coming off losses. Okay. And then Belal was the one that actually gave you your first O before now.
Yeah, so you have a bad
yeah, you guys can just have a rematch.
That would be a wonderful idea. And it would be like bragging right back again. Okay, he beats me, I can get back my loss and then give him a loss as well.
Yeah.
It would be a good matchup actually.
Yeah. And in the prelims, Boniku with the head kick. You must have forgot. Was I you must have forgot moment?
You must have forgot. And I think it was coming from a loss, right?
Yes. Where the reader, the RDR punished the hell out of him.
That's middleweight.
And he took a whole lot of backlash, online and offline.
Yeah, but this is him now redeeming himself, back with a win, and I'm excited about him because he has a promising future as well as one of the new faces in the middleweight class.
And UFC 322 just performed excellently well for us. I think so far is the best card of the year. And next week also, still going on the welterweight division. Look at who are fighting. Belal Mohammed and Ayangari is fighting. Jakaman Singh and Mitobik Orobal. If he wins too, he's going to be making a whole lot of noise.
I want to fight where I think he injured his eye. And
he wears those warrior kind of hats when he comes into. Yeah, this is like from them Russian kind of area too. Hard knock, gritty kind of life.
It's not about the Russians. I think even Kamzat sent a message to what's his name, Islam, that's well done. At least we are now 2 Russians that are champion.
Yeah.
And then I remember Khabib, and his name, Islam said something. He said that he went after the fight. He went to meet Paul Craig. No, he went for an interview, and they now asked him, "What do you think about Paul Craig and everything?" He now said, "Tell them to come to Dagestan."
I'm going 2 to 3 years. Yes, now. Yes, now. They
2 to 3 years.
Yes, now. They just that belief in them that man, you've not done. Yes, you've not done what we've done.
Yes.
You've not done.
Sambo or whatever excuse you.
To them, the fight is the easiest part.
Yes.
The fight itself is the easiest part. And then I was now looking after the fight. I was just reflecting that, man. How is it being a human being and just getting, he's not gotten to the peak of his career, but at that point that he just fought, that he just got into the highest crescendo of what he wanted to achieve. He wanted to be a 2-time champion. When he holds his 2 belts in the evening, when he's just alone in his room, isn't there just a sad, like, what's next? Like, I feel there is always just that empty feeling of what's next. There's always a what's next. It's just a what's next. Like, see Ilya now, when he won his double belt, the next thing, they didn't even let him rest. They've put Paddy. They've put Paddy all over in his face. And it's just a chain of what's next for. There's no breathing space for whoever is at the top. And that goes to every area and sector of life that you are when you are at the top.
Yes, when you hit a level of life, you're always looking at what's the next level for me to hit. For Islam, I think after the excitement, he'll probably go back home, look at his belt, excited about his belt, most especially happy about fulfilling his father's legacy, that's Abdulmanap's legacy.
Yeah.
And then to him, he'll be looking at what's next, like in Khabib's way, I can smash all these guys. What next for me? Is there a tough contender for me? And though there was a speculation that he can become a 3-weight class. He can
go to middleweight.
185, but my brother, seeing him bump up to 185 again is not something
that would be a tougher tax for him.
And Kamzat's already there.
Yeah.
Maybe let me say, can even give DDP.
That super mega fight.
Yes, he can even give DDP problem, but him and Kamzat have the best of. They have the same style.
Yes.
And somebody once said something. If you and somebody have the same fight style, then what is left for you guys is for you to fight what you guys don't usually fight, which is probably you stand up and punch.
Yeah.
Because if you can shoot, if you can grapple, if you can wrestle, I can shoot, I can grapple, then let you stand up and do the punching. Who will be the best puncher?
Oh wow! So
I don't see him going up. I just see him going up to the next class.
What do you think? What do you think is possibly can happen in Ilya and Islam, or Islam and Chimaev?
Ilya and Islam. For me, I feel Ilya and Islam will be.
It's more feasible.
More feasible, yes. Islam going up to 185 will take a whole lot of sacrifice, 5 camps, bulk up. It's too creative for this one, right?
Yeah.
It has to take times double of it.
Yeah.
155 to 170 is about
15.
170
and that 15.
5, is it 15? Okay, so
that's 30 extra pounds. It might just be his natural, normal walking weight, yes, without him being able to bulk. Meanwhile, Kamzat, yes, is going to cut weight, and then add weight. Kamzat will probably be 205 entering into the octagon if that happens.
And but Islam saying something. Islam said this is the most comfortable weight class he has ever been. That he didn't have to. He said he reduced, but he didn't have to reduce much. Yeah, he was a big lightweight now. He was cutting. Yeah, he was cutting so much weight. And for the what's next thing I was asking about is because I don't see any tougher challenge for Islam, even if he defends his belt or when he defends his belt, than when he just won the belt. Yes, I don't think there's not going to be. I feel he's just going to just breeze through the moments of what's left for him. Well, I'll be very honest with you, and I'll be very truthful. Initially, I was scared of Topuria, but with what he has done with JDM, because people say everything about JDM, that JDM can defend, take down, he can grapple, he can wrestle. If you bring him down, he can stand up. But someone spent 19 minutes or 25 minutes. So I'm looking at Topuria. Does he have that same strength as JDM and the smaller version? Yeah. Topuria is shorter. He's not as big as he's a 155. Not even a natural 155. Yeah. He came up to 155. He's not as big as JDM, the 170. Does he have that strength? Does he have that? I feel if Islam catches him at 170 to 155, just going to dominate him. On the ground. Just going to dominate him. Maybe when you are small, yes, you can easily escape. Yeah. So that might be the only thing if that is anything to go by. Yeah. And next week we'll be there for Sayuken and Danuka. And then Belal and it's just going to be an exciting time as usual. If you've gotten to this stage of watching us, it means like you're enjoying what we are doing. And guys, please, whenever we bring out reviews and previews of our episode, we always have new listeners and new subscribers. Please kindly subscribe and kindly hit the like button. Raymond, it's always a pleasure having you, man. Yeah, it's been great having you always, and we can't wait to do this again. Yeah, and on this episode, it's a wrap, yo.
Welcome to the Casual Experience.